Title: The Unseen Camp. It was there. I saw the smoke, the tents, the laughter. But when we arrived, there was nothing. A story from the ranger's log that still gives me chills. Smoke on the ridge. I've been working these woods long enough to know when something feels off. Last fall, during one of the colder evenings, we received a report of a strange fire spotted up near Dead Creek Ridge. The caller said they saw camp smoke, flickering lights, maybe even heard laughter. But no campsite was registered for that area, so I set out to investigate. Just me, my boots, a flashlight, and a chill in the air that didn't feel like weather. Dead Creek Ridge wasn't a normal camping zone. Too steep, too remote, too many stories. But I've always believed that most ghost stories are just unprepared campers getting lost in the fog. At least, that's what I used to believe. Footprints and flickers. I reached the ridge just before dusk. The sky was that pale blue-gray color that always feels like the world's holding its breath. And that's when I saw it, a thin line of smoke rising through the trees, right where no one was supposed to be. As I got closer, I started seeing signs of people, footprints in the dirt, crushed leaves, even a plastic wrapper stuck to a bush, a granola bar maybe. I radioed in. Possible unregistered camp at Dead Creek Ridge, approaching now. And then, clear as day, I heard it. Laughter, warm, human, happy. It was the last normal thing I heard that night. The camp. That was, I came over the crest of the ridge and looked down into a shallow bowl of land. There it was, a campsite, 3 tents, a small fire, backpacks, lantern glow, the flicker of shadows moving just behind the nylon walls. I didn't want to spook anyone, so I approached slowly and called out, "Park Ranger, just checking permits." The laughter stopped, but no one answered. I stepped into the clearing, my flashlight scanning the site, and that's when I realized there was no sound, no wind, no fire crackle, just me and stillness, gone without a trace. I took a few more steps forward and lifted the tent flap. Nothing, no one inside, nothing, no sleeping bags, no gear, no floor print, no zipper, just flat earth beneath the canvas. The fire wasn't burning, it wasn't even warm, it was just arranged, wood, ash, but no heat, no smoke. I looked around. The other tents were the same, completely empty, not even a ripple in the fabric. And yet I had seen them lit from the inside. Something was wrong, and the feeling in my chest told me I wasn't alone. The wind returns. I backed up slowly, stepping away from the circle of tents. Suddenly, a gust of wind shot through the trees, breaking the silence. It knocked one of the tents clean over, and beneath it, nothing but stone. A flat, rectangular slab, carved, weathered, covered in moss. I knelt down and brushed some of the moss away. There were markings beneath it, not language, just shapes, spirals, triangles, overlapping eyes. They looked ancient, or worse, like they were waiting to be uncovered. The sound of walking, then I heard it, footsteps, behind me, slow and deliberate. I turned, flashlight up, nothing. They came again, but this time from the other direction. Crunch, crunch, like someone pacing a circle around me. I called out, "Show yourself!" Still nothing, but the footsteps didn't stop. They moved faster, around and around, and then they just stopped. The cold spot. I don't get scared easily, but that place had the kind of cold that gets inside your thoughts. My breath fogged in the air, but the fire pit remained cold. My flashlight flickered, and then behind me I heard it again. that same laughter I'd heard earlier. But now it was hollow, as if it were bouncing through a tunnel, as if it wasn't coming from a person at all. The vanishing. I did what any sane ranger would do. I turned to leave, but the trail was gone. The path I came in on had vanished. In its place, dense trees, overgrowth, no markers, no exit. I spun around, trying to get my bearings, and that's when I realized something even worse. The campsite, gone. No tents, no slab, no fire pit, just trees, and a single stone cairn in the center of the clearing, freshly stacked, still damp with soil. Voices in the radio. My radio crackled to life, but the voice on the other end wasn't dispatch. It wasn't any ranger I'd ever worked with. It was me, my voice, repeating the same line, approaching unregistered camp at Dead Creek Ridge, over and over, like a loop. Then another voice broke through, a whisper. You weren't supposed to see it, the map that lied. Eventually, I made it back, or maybe the forest let me leave. I returned to the station, exhausted, shaken. I pulled out the master map to mark the incident, but when I looked at the grid, Dead Creek Ridge was blank. No clearing, no camp, no records. I asked dispatch for the original caller who reported the fire. They checked the logs. No call had been made. What I won't say, again. There are things we don't talk about in this line of work, not because we're hiding something, but because we're afraid of remembering. I know what I saw. I know that the camp was real, until it wasn't. And I know something saw me. So if you ever see a fire in the distance, one that shouldn't be there, just stay away. Because sometimes the places you think are empty are just places you're not meant to see.